Hey, YouTube. Jan, what did I say? I turn it down all the way. I just told you I'm live. I just said that. Hey, y'all. I don't know why my kids be playing it. If y'all hear my kids in the background, once again, I work from home. Okay. So if you hear my kids in the background, I'm sorry. I got 8 of them back rows. 8. Okay. And 3 of them tested my gangster all the time. And I'm like, what? What me? Anywho, you already know I'm back with another one. This is Shanice, and today I'm coming for some story time. So, like I said, if you guys want to see like more of my teaching, more of my teaching, teach, preach ish type of stuff, follow me on my business page. I am Kingdom Connections on Facebook. Also, Thursday, I'll be hosting my first webinar and I'll be teaching about faith. And today, I'm actually going to put the link to register in the comments. It's only $35. And in the training, we will definitely be dealing with, hold on, y'all. I don't know why. When I can't type and talk at the same time. I'm not that talented. I'm not that talented. Just not. But I want to come on today because I want to do story time with you guys because I want you guys to know, like, who is this girl thinking she can give me this type of advice on why I qualify to do what I do. For one, God qualified me. He qualified the ones that he called, for one. And for two, I've been through a lot. Y'all. A lot. But like I said, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, go to I Am Kingdom Connections and you'll be able to hear all my teachers and stuff. Over here, I want to be like more of a story time, more of a laid back type of atmosphere. Go upstairs and close the door. Now,
it's almost raining outside.
Do what I told you. More of a laid back story time type of situation. Jakai, go and close the door. Go and close the door. More laid back. So I just want to do some little story time with you guys. Like I said, go register for my webinar. On my webinar, we'll be talking about trauma. Faith, when your faith meets trauma. You know what I'm saying? God have given everybody a amount of faith. Everybody has an amount of faith. But what happens when your faith meets trauma? It gets polluted. Period. Because you gotta look at it. What you go through, you're out of your lenses of your eyes, you perceive God that way. I know for me it was that way. Like I perceived God based off of how everybody else knew him from my family line. And everybody else in my family was very judgmental, very condemning. So I thought God was the same way. And the thing is, he's not the same way. They just represented him wrong. But I perceived him the exact same way, exactly how they said he was. That's how I perceived him. I perceived him as condemning, judgmental, quick to anger. Like I didn't perceive him as slow to anger. I perceived him as quick to anger, and he's the complete opposite. So I just went on this self journey and like, God, let me find you for me, and not for my Mother's Day, my grandmother's day, or nobody else's day, but let me find you for me. You know what I'm saying? And so as God sent me on this journey, I remember one day I was always apologetic to God. Like, I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry. I repented almost 1,000 times today, like, because I did not know how I was supposed to have lived and how I was supposed to walk before him. And I remember one day I had just gotten in a confrontation with my mom and I was, going to him, repent, God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to yell back, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm taught, you disrespect your mother, your father, you doomed, you going straight to hell. Like, that's what I was taught. So I came down, I was in my basement, I was washing my clothes, and I'm like, God, I'm sorry I had to, snap back at my mom like that, and I just heard a voice say to me, I'm not like your parents. What? And I'm like, God, what do you mean? And he just started putting me in remembrance. I have a judgment. I'm don't get me wrong, I have good parents, but they're very judgmental. So I'm like, man, like, if you're not like this, then why do I perceive you that way? And God just starts taking me on this process of uprooting the trauma that polluted and contaminated and tainted my soil. Now we look at soil, we're gonna look at soil as being your soul. So my soul took all these shots, molestation, abuse, and identity issues, and teen pregnancy, and it took all these shots. So my soul was polluted, my soul was traumatized. So I looked at God the same way. So once God put me in a predicament to go back from 7, 8 years old, when those seeds of trauma was first placed into my soul. I remember I was like 7, 8 years old. I used to be, taking a test at class. And I used to pray, like, oh, God, please let me pass this test. And when I didn't pass it, I was like, man, God don't listen to me. Man, God, he not hearing me. I don't think God like me. So I had this mindset that I had to have these prerequisites even to even be in his presence, to even be connected to him. Damani, can you close that door, please? Yeah. Okay. I had this prerequisites that I had to come before God. I had to walk this way. I had to talk this way. I had to look this way. And I was just so confused and I was so conflicted because I didn't know how to worship God. I didn't know how to praise him. I didn't know how to talk to him. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know how to have a relationship with him for me. So once God took me back to those times of those seeds of the seeds of rejection, the seeds of abandonment, the seeds of trauma, the seeds of misunderstanding him, all those seeds, once he took me back to the root of it, then he was able to uproot them. But after you uproot something, what you have to do, you have to cultivate that soil. So you have to cultivate it with the word of God. You got to renew your mind. You have to read your word, listen to preachers to boost your faith, because now your faith that was coexisting with unbelief and doubt. Unbelief is now plucked up, but now you got to uppluck doubt. And then after you unpluck these things, you got to cultivate those things, right? So in my webinar, I'll be giving you guys actual steps to be able to go back and say, oh, this is why I don't trust God, because when this happened, I felt like he wasn't there. And the enemy, he used those things to advantage, right? He don't fight there. He fight when you young, when you 7, 8 years old, you don't even know what you don't understand. The reason why God didn't answer that prayer is because, on the other side of that was destruction. Or the reason why, God allowed that man to walk out your life is because he wasn't for you. That's one of the men that God had for you. But because you don't know that, you go through this process of resentment and anger and bitterness and abandonment and rejection. And your soul just hit it with all these type of labels. And it's time for you to rip those labels off, because under those labels of rejection, abandonment, resentment, and bitterness is someone that's powerful, someone that the world is needing, someone that the world is you're the solution to somebody else's problem. And until you come to agreement with God and say, you know what, I am chosen, I'm royal, I'm a royal priest of a holy nation, I'm God's possession, and he took me out of darkness into his marvelous light. Until you come in alignment with that, you're going to constantly deal with these different titles that life put up on you. And God is saying, I'm ready to rip those titles and those labels off of you so you can discover the power within. And that was me. And that's what made me write my book, Heal Soul Trauma. And I just want to talk about why I wrote my book and what made me just say, you know what, enough is enough. So this is the beginning of my book. And it said, I knew this girl who lost her mom at a tender young age of 5. I believe even at the age of 30 or 40, I was in this class with her, and she was either 30, 40 years old, and she would still have the thoughts in her mind. Why my mom? Why did I have to grow up without my mom? Why did they kill my mom? This type of trauma could have your soul deeply wounded like a broken cistern of living water flowing right out of you. Now, when you look at what is a cistern? A cistern was something in the biblical days that they used to fill up water, right? So if God said that he's the living water, so imagine this cistern, which is your soul, is riddled with holes, and the living water that's trying to go inside of you is seeping right back out because you have so many holes and so many holes inside your soul that the living water is coming right back out, that the living water can't even stick in your soul, and you can't have no revelation. You can't really walk in your true power because the living water is seeping back out, can't even flow through you the way that it needs to. And what got me to this point that I was just like, you know what, I'm tired. I was in an abusive relationship for about 13, 14 years. And we remain friends today. We have a shaky relationship, but we have 8 kids together. And when me and him was together, I remember he was calling to get one of my kids, and he was just yelling at me. Now, during this time that me and him had lived together, I didn't know I had got PTSD. I didn't even know I had it. Let's be clear. I didn't even know I had PTSD. It was just every time I heard a loud noise or he got loud with me, I would just be traumatized, and I would go back to that time that he hit me or he did something to me, and I would think at that time frame or at that time that he's gonna hurt me like he did at that time. So I remember it's like, God, what's wrong with me? Why do I keep on acting this way? Why do I'm so shaky and so frantic when he yell at me or when he do something to me or when he lift up at me? What is going on? And then God started dealing with me about my soul and showing me how everything that I've been through, my soul was so traumatized and the soul tie was so deep that he needs to do surgery on me. He needs to uproot everything and every title, work every title back in order for me to walk in my full power, my full potential. And God told me that he gave me the scriptures, Job 2:25. I'm looking up at my wall. And Job 2:25 said, God will restore every locust eaten, every cankerworm, every palmer worm, every caterpillar, and army sent among me. So when we look at caterpillar, locust worm, cankerworm, palmer worm, those are not actually worms. Them are actually spirits. Because what do worms do? It eats at things, right? So spirits eat at your identity. It eats at your mind. It eats at who you really are. And as you eat, as they eat is eating at your bones, it's breaking. And look at your bones as being your spirit man. It's eating at your spirit man. It's eating at your bone, and you begin deteriorated. That's why some people is like ticking time bombs, and they grow up so resentful, so hateful. They like, man, what's wrong with her? She always snappy. Because them canker worms, them pommel worms, them are spirits from different generations is eating at her, and she's dying spiritually. Do you know you could die spiritually before you actually die? Because you're not allowing God to heal you. You're not allowing God to do that work in you. So what end up happening is you end up dying from them cankerworms and them pommel worms eating at you. What happens to an actual corpse when they die and you put them in the ground, right? The worms eat at them. I got it, baby. The worms eat at them, and it deteriorates them. It deteriorates.
Go to the front.
It eat at their flesh, and then they become decomposed, right? And then they become straight bones. That's what happens to people when they don't allow God to heal them. When they don't allow God to just give them everything and say, you know what, God, I was molested. God, I was raped. He already know. I'm mad at you because of that. I don't like you right now. I don't like you because you allowed this to happen to me. And I felt like you wasn't there. I felt like you allowed this to happen. My mother died. I felt like you took her away from me. So imagine cankerworm, palmer worms, and lucas going through generations and just eating at the women, eating at the men with alcoholism, drug issues, eating at them with mental illness, eating at the women with burdens, and eating at the women with identity issues, and eating at the women with resentment and bitterness. Imagine that. Imagine a whole family line just in bondage. And as they shackled up in bondage, the worms is just eating at them. Would you stand up for your family and say, you know what, God, I will live as a living sacrifice. Heal me so I can start a whole different way of things is done in my DNA. Heal me, Abba, so I can walk free and blameless, and my family can be free, and my grandkids can be free, and my great-grandkids can be free. Or would you allow those cankerworms, them palmer worms, them caterpillars to eat at your soul, eat at your spirit, and you walking around bone and bone, and you miserable and angry every single day? Think about it. So that's all I got for story time today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know I was jumping around. I don't know why I do that. I just do. You know, I go with the spirit. If he tell me go here, I go here. You know what I'm saying? But I want you guys to follow me, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. tell a friend to tell a friend about my channel. By the end of May, I'm trying to have like 100 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grow like 100 subscribers a month. Okay. So I'll be back again tomorrow. And then after that, I won't be back until next week. You know what I'm saying? But I love you guys. Stay encouraged, stay inspired, stay motivated. I am also seeking mentees. Right now, my business page is being revamped. So if you can go on my business, if you are someone that have a niece that's dealing with identity issues, trying to discover her purpose, because her purpose is already in her. Kingdom Connections help with that. We help women to find their identity, to walk in their purpose, and to pull back and for them to walk in their full potential by finding their power, by taking off those labels and the titles that everybody else put on them, by sending them through an intense healing process. If you want to learn more about it, comment on this video and I can set up a free consultation with you guys. Until then, peace.
Peace.
My son said peace. Your hair not cut, sir.
You see me go get my hair cut. Oh yeah.